And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off. Well, not picking up where we left off last time, but we're going to pick up where we left off in the game, which is starting a new one in Old World. We're going to be trying to still do a polytheistic run as Greece. So let's go ahead and get a new game here started. And again, I think realize this to being the last one. Greece starts with the drama, so the music isn't going to stop when we start the game. But we're basically doing the exact same thing. We're going to do Scipio. Ptolemy here, so we can get 5 of the shrines, and we're going to try to do a polytheistic sort of Greece run here. Although I'm going to prioritize the military a little bit better so we can hopefully control a little bit more of the planet. Here, I'm going to do the simple setup. We're going to smash the reset button a couple times, and then set this to strong. This is the difficulty we're going to run on. Notably, that means we're back down on medium map size. And instead, I think we were running on high events last time. We're back down to low. Here we are, loaded in. We are Ptolemy. Let's find our capital. Okay, so once again, we got a coastal start here. The mountains are farther away this time, although that's probably for the better. We are probably going to be settling on a river. Probably wants to be the northern river and not the southern river, because the southern river doesn't have ocean contact. Although, so does the city, would be connected between the two of them, so it doesn't make a difference. So this, we went artisans last time. They have bonuses to mines and lumber mills. I think this city this time is going to have fewer mines, fewer lumber mills. Although it does have gold. Although gold is a precious resource. We might want to do patrons here because we get extra culture from precious per precious resource. Got the gold up there. We're gonna have the marble over there. So there has the gold, there has the gold and the marble. Lose gold there, but we get the second marble. Not too worried about losing the marble and the game down here. When we get the specialist on the horses, that'll give an border expansion. When we get the specialist on the elephant, we'll get the marble expansion. Oh, and there's silver over there. Yeah, I think we are definitely going to go patrons this time. So we're gonna take the one step and do patrons for the extra culture per precious resource. We are being granted a minister here to begin with. As far as techs, again, we were planning on doing polytheism, so we're going to want to be running up to polytheism law and monosystem. Eventually, we're going to want to go to citizenship. We are going to want forestry. And the other one I think we want to go for early on, so we don't get sort of stuck where our hoplites are being heavy countered by axemen. So we probably want to run axemen early. We probably want to focus on getting to axemen early. Now, this presents us with a bit of an interesting conundrum. 2 of the techs to work towards what we want are currently being offered to us. We have trapping, which I think is the one I'm going to end up going with, because that is access to the game, that is access to the elephants. I think we start with the mining tech, or at least the information we need for mining. Yeah, I think you can mine from the start. So the mine and the quarry we can do. We don't have pastures by default. There's pastures. Double check. Yeah, husbandry is pastures. We don't have pastures by default. I suppose actually, if pastures come up, we should do pastures as well. But I think We've got the toss-up here between divination, which is the shrines. We are planning on doing a polytheistic run, or so I'm planning on trying to do a polytheistic run, so we're going to want shrines eventually. But I don't need them yet, because we probably want to be making stone first. Oh, we can see, so that's one of our basic stands. That's been told where our guaranteed openers are. So we want to go over there, we want to go over here, fairly early on. And then we should find the 2 barbarian ones. But yeah, I think we're going to go trapping here. Nope, the shrines aren't nice, but until we have the stone... and until we have polyism, we can only get 1 of each of these 5. So we can delay that a little bit. I'm going to go trapping here, because I think for at least getting the first city going, I think trapping's going to be valuable. And the question is, what do I want to open with? Do I want to open up with the quarry or the mine? I think we'll go the mine first if we get there. Yeah, we can get there. That leaves me with 3 orders. And I'm going to use 2 of those orders. This is one thing I didn't do last time, is we didn't do a lot of tutoring actions. I'm going to try to tutor up the princess here. I think we can get 2 off before she comes of age using the monarch. Most likely that's going to provide more wisdom. This is 1 remaining order. A fairly nice mountain range to the south here. What's your exploration circle? Let's have you go south then. That doesn't actually show us anything right away, but me on the next turn. Air education. I think we'll go philosophy again. Or do I want to go... Actually, yeah, we'll still go philosophy. We'll go science again. Explore first with the scout. Okay, so that's a fairly dead-end area. We'll harvest the marble for a little bit of stone. I don't have enough money that I don't want to liquid or to use the tutor action on the courtier. The courtier costs 20 money or 200 money to spend, so we're not going to do that right away. And then in the home city, we do want to apply the luxury here, which I think cost a couple orders. Okay, I've got 2 left. I apply governor. Yeah, let's apply governor for the science bonus. And then that's our orders for the moment. One of the things we need to get a hold of fairly early on here is more orders. Uncanny. Whispers of the princess's uncanny abilities have reached our court. So we get extra science. Chance to become inspiring or insane, but XP. Acquire random technology. We'll acquire random technology. Got administration for free. Okay. Affable, humble, or extravagant. Became humble. That's fine as the second line. Harvest the silver. You're going to want to explore that ruin, so we'll move towards that ruin. Again, I don't have the money to have the courtier tutor. Our tutoring task finishes next turn. Yeah, I think we just end the turn here. Oh, it's reminding me I've got a warrior and I have extra actions. Let's have the warrior go actually sit up on the city up there. Start moving in that direction. That way we don't have it turn into barbarians or something. I think I'm going to settle this one first to get access to the fur and the horses. Horses provide, pastures and horses provide a little bit of orders. So I want to do that fairly early on. And yeah, our tutoring did result in charisma, which is not bad. Let's do that again. Last time I probably would do that because it'll be an adult before we can do it again. Carved wall. So we can bring it back and we'll get culture in the capital. We'll become steadfast, a bonus against tribal units. Or acquire aristocracy. Is that a law or a tech? That is a tech. Interesting. Is that letting me skip a tech? Yeah. So that is one of the ones we want done, so I think we will agree to the second one. Glad to have such wise generals. I highly value their service. So we basically get a tech that actually isn't our first tech in the line, right? Divination's the first one. But that's good. That gives us access to getting ambassadors. Incense, okay. Looks like there might be a city area over there. Check that out. And I can assign an ambassador. We're not too worried about religious opinion, although the oligarch here also provides a little bit of culture. Although I don't necessarily want the culture this early. Let's go for the queen consort then. Okay, mine is done. Next thing I want to work on is probably the quarry. Because it's more of a quarry. Scout first. Harvest the incense. So that is probably one of our expands that starts talking about the barbarian. Discovered trapping. And our second child is now old enough to become tutored. That'll become estranged, make them no longer a philosophy student. Or reimburse the academy for their troubles, in which case they become extravagant. We'll let them become estranged. That's making them grumpy with us, but that'll be fine. I'm gonna use you as a governor or general. Let's try to go for governor. I'm gonna go politics here. Judge is pretty good governor. We could get a judge. Okay, so we've got basically a hand of good choices here. This works towards our tier 2 infantry. This is going to work towards forestry. This works... Well, this is get used to the horses. The option I'm going to go with, because it's going to get discarded if I don't go with it, is the bonus settler, the free settler here. We'll go with the settler. All of them are good choices. And I could definitely see arguments there for picking specific ones. If you were to go for a different one, I would not be surprised. And then I think we're going to go Slinger here. Slinger plus Warrior is probably what we want to start taking barbarians on. have not double, no, not double warrior slinger. Oh, we have more silver there. That's lots of precious resources. Which city do I want to set up first? Probably this one. Because we've got a warrior guarding the other one. And then I have one order left. Oh, actually, I had enough move I could get onto the city sites. Let's do that. It prevents that from turning into barbarians. If you leave city sites unoccupied long enough, they turn into barbarians. I think the free guaranteed empty ones you have don't do that, but... Don't really have enough information to know which of those two locations is the better one. I'm gonna go for the farther one. And then we've got the choice again. Do I want champions, artisans, or sages? Ultra precious resource is tempting. But I should probably get a new seat rather than putting a duplicate. Yeah, we have a couple lumber mills here. We do have reasonably hilly terrain, so we get decent off the mines. Let's do that one. Renault Solar, getting us some more legitimacy. Notably, that gives us more orders. And settling here was high enough up to get us the horses, so I think we got the horses either way. Pearls are precious. This might have been a better place for the patron in hindsight, but that would require me knowing that the pearls were out there in the fog of war. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a warrior here to go with the existing warrior and the slinger. And I think we leave you where you are. A little bit of waste because we have exactly what we're left, but it'll be what it is. If I had two, there's something I'd definitely do with it. But with one is a little less useful. Control 5 workers, control 6 farms, discover 6 technologies. Farms are easy. Workers we've already started to, although I probably, until we get our the 2 barbarian holds expands. And that's what we screwed up, I think, last time, so I didn't round them quickly enough. We really don't need 5 workers. 1 worker a city, I think, is probably good enough. Ambition to control 6 farms. Wouldn't be too bad, but we got no farming resources. So we're not necessarily on the path to build this really quickly. So I think we're going to go with the tech one here for those 3 choices. We don't have husbandry, so we can't do the horse yet. I do have trapping, so we can go over and do either game or elephants. Let's go over and do the elephants. The camp here provides half an order. It'd be good to get that sooner rather than later. Okay, so that's a dead end over there. That's a dead end until I'm ready to deal with the barbarians. So I just need to explore this way. And this isn't really... Well, from an expansion standpoint, the expansion would be to go with the barbarians first. So let's get some tutoring off before I start doing some heavy distance. To you with king. And our courtier here has a job. You're governor, so I can't have you tutor anyone. Can I get a governor in here? I can get a governor in here. Don't want it to be the king, although it could be the princess. The princess is old enough. She is a orator. Can serve as governor or ambassador. So provide 9 civics here. Although it might actually be better as our ambassador. Yeah, 42. I might want to replace the queen with our daughter. Yeah, and then make the queen be in charge here. Sure. Oh, I need point the orders a little quickly. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll have the scout just start moving towards the next place we're going to explore. This turn we're going to go through a bunch of orders because we got the settler to start moving. Discovered our settler. Affable or science? If I was making him a governor... Oh, we put him in politics, so I think I am going to make him governor. Yeah, we'll probably go affable. We're going to skip the free worker. The worker isn't valuable enough. The border boost isn't valuable enough. And we're getting presented with both divination and labor force. Right now, our cities are going to be connected by river, connected by ocean, so I don't need the labor force right away. So I'm instead going to go for divination so we can start getting shrines. Yeah, that's the fastest path up there, so you can go there. Gonna install the new ambassador. So orders. Okay, regardless of where I'm going to put, I'm going to get those two. Alright, so we go there, that gets some, you go there, that gets some, that go there, get some, there go, get some. The question is, do I want more ocean space, which we probably don't. We probably want to be farther inland. So, probably don't want those two spaces. That space and that space gets access to the loot. What I'm going to do is we're going to have you hop off. Give us an idea what's up there. So it's mostly looking like we got forest. Although I think that's just perfectly fine. So yeah, let's go there. And the question is, which of the two remaining ones do I want? Free tech or gain extra training and eligibly knit start with steadfast. I'm gonna make do without the steadfast. We're gonna go for the free tech. Discover new technology, labor force. So we basically got the other choice as well. That works. then up here, we are going to want to build a worker, probably as our first thing. And then as orders allow, we're going to start moving our guys over to deal with one of the barbarians. Probably be this one. Incense is interesting. We don't really know enough about that one. And then laws, I do have access to a law, and I should probably start saving up to apply one of them. The reason is because once I have a law, I can build garrisons, and once I build garrisons, they're going to start providing us with more orders. It's a half an order per garrison. If I have one law, I can build one garrison per town. We build a camp. Probably build the mine here. We take damage by ending a turn on marsh, so we're not going to move into the marsh. In fact, I will save the 2 orders to actually tutor second in line. Divination's done. Make them bitter. Or make them zealot. We'll have them become bitter. Gains T, adds T. Spend some civics to get a courtier. Okay. I'll take the civics to also gain the courtier. And then we're going to pass on stone, pass on rhetoric. It's maybe a little early for monasticism, because that's polytheism. But of the ones we're looking towards, that's what we want, so we'll take that one. Early for it, but early for it is not too bad. You know, for the exploration purposes right now, I don't really need our scout to go that far that direction. Harvest that ore, and we're focused mostly on moving the troop. You're working, you're working, you're working. We got you tutoring the child. Oh, I can install a governor. Good thing we picked that up, because we do have one that can give us a little bit more civics. Although the civics payback period is pretty long on this, right? It's costing us 100 civics, and it's going to provide us 2, so it's going to take 50 turns to pay the civics back, but yeah, it's worth it. So sooner we do it, the quicker it pays back, and the more skilled that we'll get from XP of running the city. Okay. None of our cities have any net, so bonuses to... Oh, actually, bonus to camp might be interesting. Better than farms and groves. Lumber mills and pastures. Ooh. So, we're going to pick one of those 3. Some lumber mills in there, 2 pastures, but there's a camp as well. So 2 camps in here. Camps and nets. We're looking pretty weak on camps, yeah, so it's probably lumber mills and pastures we go for. Although probably the place where most of my lumber mills are going to be doesn't have very many pastures, and the place that the number of pastures is good is not necessarily a lot of lumber mills. Actually, this city would have, or is probably going to end up with 4 different camps. And no nets, though. That's the problem with that one, there's no nets. Whereas lumber mills are pretty spammable. Pastures is the horse and the pig, or the double horse. You might even get down to triple horse down there. Oh, this one might expand enough to get the pearls, and that's going to be... Although then you're only going to have two nets and one camp. Yeah, I think we go teach tending animals will teach compassion. I think that was the way to go there. I think you're technically an adult at 18. So I could splurge. Oh, we set those both up examiners, so I can't do any tutoring with them because they're got jobs. Okay, that's a dead end. Which is useful information to know. Parse that elephant for some money. I now have tea to distribute as I please. Let's distribute that to the capital. It's got the discontent in the capital down at 1, so we've almost got the capital positive. Scholar or diplomat? So he's probably not going to become a leader. So he's most likely going to be governor or leader of troops. Both of these can only be governor, so he's basically going to be a governor. That's what we worked out. Although we could technically have him be the ambassador if we go with diplomat. We're going to be a little way off from spy master, so he's going to be governor. He's got to be the diplomat. Let's set him up as a diplomat here, so he can be the ambassador when the queen ascends to the throne. Petty crimes. Must repay all those that he's wronged, become spoiled, or we had enough discipline we could punish him. I guess we're gonna get the minus one, making him a worse diplomat. That's not great. Okay, of the 4 shrines, how does our neighbor bonuses work? So you want to be next to mountains. I also probably don't need the culture very hard early on. That's not super valuable. Zeus wants to be next to wonders, although we can't necessarily plan very well for that. Does also provide us 2 civics, which is useful because we needed civics for our laws. Poseidon, I think we want to save for the other coastal one, at least until we get polytheism, because we can use that to expand the coastline a bit. And that one scales off of amount of sea tiles. We've only got 3 sea tiles over here. So I'm looking at Serepsis or Zeus here. Serepsis would bring the city to neutral happiness discontent. So it would stop getting worse, it would stop getting better. Well, it wouldn't get any better anyway at the moment. Or we go Athena. Athena wanted a neighboring. Courthouse. So it's Courthouse versus Odin's. Both of those things are probably going to spam at some point. The alternative is I don't have the law for it yet. Let's go with the Sephiroth. Let's go you. So then the question is, do I want to use it as my expand to get these? Game and the marble. Or to grab more coastline, make way for more other resources. Because if it's recommending Athena there. I'm not going to do Athena. I'm going to do Sepsis or Serapsis. And it's expanding it for that reason because it's going to give us the marble and the game. You know, I'll agree with it. That seems reasonable. I agree with its placement, not with its choice. And then city here. If we weren't doing that there, we'd probably do the elephant. Instead, I'm thinking of doing the gold. Which gives us a pretty nice expansion there, and actually give us access to another elephant up there. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable choice. Let's do the gold. Okay. One of Twitch chat saying good day or G-day. I believe they're meaning good day there. And we're going to go ahead and cycle the turn. We're waiting for the third worker to help work up improvements around this city. Probably go for... Well, probably go for the mine. One way to make do with not having specific resources is have a lot of money. Select timber. Developing culture in Alexandria. We can get a lumber mill, science, organic worker. Small group of naturalists near Alexandria have been felling trees and carving timber using wood into usable wood for the city. They are requesting that the areas of forest near the city be allocated to a permanent lumber mill where it can be effectively harvested. We don't have access to the ability to build lumber mills yet, so having one that I get to place is not a bad plan. Choose a placement myself. Anyway, we're gonna go there. Under his spell, your child has found a man she wants to make her husband. Would-be groom is Philatatus the Scholar. Strange member warns that be practitioner of magic. Although often helpful, such power from the gods is easily corrupted, and suggests that it is probably in the spell to help climb the ranks. One makes the head of that family disappointed with us, but raises the opinion of their family. Or we got a 5% chance if we say no, we'll be cursed. Honestly, I don't have a problem with the marriage. We'll just have the head of the family disappointed in us. Again, I don't have pastures yet, so we can't do you. I might actually want to do quarries first. I suppose that would get us access to the pearls there. I think we want to do the quarries. We'll do that at least. Let's come over here and put a quarry up. Miner or trapper? The mine gives us more tiles to mine, obviously. The trapper provides us a luxury we can distribute. What luxuries do our families want? Gems. We don't have any of those. Dyes. Incense. This is one of the reasons we're going to do that expansion down here. This is incense down here. Lavender and salt. Okay. So, that particular luxury isn't super important. And we definitely get more money by doing the mine. So let's do the mine. I've got one order left. Let's use that order on the scout then. Okay, we're food negative, we're metal negative. Both of those are things that I'm tempted to try to solve with this person right now. We do have a literal ore mine, which is a specialty place for ore. So let's do that as your first build. Buy the wood to build the mine. And then at this point, I am tempted to have you run, because I don't really want another worker right now. I don't want another scout, I don't have enough orders. I don't really need more military. Yeah, don't really want more military. I want something that's, well, I want to have the civics available for a law, because that's how we're going to get more orders. So the best way to get more civics, if I basically just want the city to idle, is council. This is effectively costing us civics. So we're paying the 12 civics, but we get 4 of them for the idle, basically. It would be better not to be spending civics at all, but we're kind of on a catch-22 scenario of that's not an option to not do anything. Oh, there goes all the orders. Enemy's also dead too, that's why we brought the extra troops along, so we can just definitively remove problems. Okay, so we've got game, which would be a bunch of extra food. Or we could go elephant for orders. Or we could go the mason for a little bit more coastline. Well, that's not very useful because it's going to give us a bit of swamp. Although that would be more civics. That'd be 2 more civics a turn. I think we're going to go the elephant here. Anyway, we're going to have you run council until we get the law passed. That's our orders for the turn. And the destination of the travels eagerly seek to discuss the people they call the Egyptians. Okay. So we know of the Egyptians, and we're at least stronger than them, so that's off to a good start. Okay, I'm going to use orders and give these guys some generals, make them a little bit more effective. Yep. Okay, so no general for this longer. Your... Oh, I now have my 400 for the law. So I can do slavery, which one of our groups would actually like. Or I can do centralization, vassalage. Right now we have extra unit consumption because we're outside of our borders. In the long run, centralization is probably better. No, actually, probably if we're going to go to war a bunch, which I'm trying to do, vassalage is probably better. So I'm going to do vassalage. So now this means, because I've passed my first law, which is what we were trying to sort of get done real early there, I can now build our garrison in each of our cities and get a half an order each. Which adds up surprisingly fast. Well, usefully fast. And then we get more laws, we can get higher tier versions and such. We got the stone, let's do the treasury. Let's ensure critical buildings will not so easily collapse, or we lose for the rest of the king's life. We'll lose basically 2 civics and 1% common ability, but we get 70 civics right now. I'm gonna pay to do the first one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna build mines over here. We could definitely go with some metal coming in. Scratch another enemy. And we've got the citizen. I don't need the military. I don't need more scouts or militia or whatever. So yeah, we go trap right here. Get that fur coming in. And we'll see if we can get rid of the barbarians there. Humble request. Humble emissaries of Egypt kneel before the throne and able to meet your searching eye. They've come to request aid. Future generations of people will remember your generosity. Send them training, gain a favor. We're gonna be. I'm fine with sending them training. We got enough training. Listen closely to political advisors, or become educated. We'll go with the science option. The younger or the judge? We're going to go with the judge here. We get a dowry of 10 science, which is probably better than the dowry of 420 money for my purposes. Makes them like us better. And I think it's a better queen if we ever end up with the Duke. With a third in line here, becoming the head state. So that's an option. To be fair, he's probably never going to be head state. Let's be fair. Things going according to plan, he will not be ascending the throne. I'm gonna buy the garrison here. Half order is valuable enough for that. Quite enough to overrun him, although we'll overrun him next turn. Before the reinforcements spawn in, so we'll be able to stop the rains there. And then we'll be looking for another settler. So I suppose it is time for the capital build a settler. Yeah, we'll build a settler. I'm not building settler because I am broke. Fair enough, we're broke. So the answer, for the moment, is do the council. I know what I want to build there, but we can't do it yet. I've fallen ill. Does not mean we're dead yet. Now's the time to strike, or we must be patient. So we've officially contacted the Thracians, who are a tribe. They're not particularly close to us. I'm going to go with the first option. We could technically, and I think this probably is usually the meta choice, to maintain the peace if you're not prepared to deal with them coming and raiding you. If you're at war with them, they're more likely to raid you. They're far enough away that, okay, we can have some raiders, and we know they're over here, right? So, in fact, we got a pretty secure. I think this is another pass over here, but we've got pretty secure borders for the moment. So we will accept that we be at war with them for the legitimacy. We can always then spend orders to try to get back to peace. Six turns out from here. Change your mind, go back to peace. Or we can follow up with, we're at war, and take their stuff. If we had colonies, we could gain a settler here from this event. We don't. Let's eradicate their barbaric culture. Because we've become intolerant, we'd actually piss off the Egyptians, who do not support intolerance. Or there's more peaceful methods. We're gonna get the legitimacy here. We can accept the Egyptians not liking it as much. Okay. And yeah, you're gonna work on that camp, the growth in the capital. Can I afford to buy the settler? No, not yet. I think this is a good place for me to put a part break in. We're at about 40 or 54 minutes. Don't want this to go too long. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. I think this run is off to a better start. We've already acquired the Fourth City site, which is where everything started going downhill in the last one. And I think we've acquired it during the reign of Ptolemy here, so much faster, much better. So if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break here so I can get up and stretch legs and sip a little bit of tea, and then we'll go back to record the next part. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.